With emergency response happening in the city of Buffalo, members of the Buffalo Common Council, they've been expressing concerns about the quality of the ambulance service provided by AMR, and they've been expressing this for a few months now. And today AMR was in council chambers and they had to answer some tough questions today. The big concern has been focused on response times, but AMR says their main concern is finding more EMTs and paramedics. The company said there is no silver bullet to fix this particular problem. And that's why in studio right now, joining me is Nate Benson. You've been following this story for a while now. What was your takeaway from today?
Claudine, it was really interesting to see kind of everyone dance around some of their concerns without finger pointing about ambulance response times, the lack of a contract between the city and AMR. One thing that did stand out was Councilmember Nowakowski pressing both the Fire Commissioner and Administration Commissioner Delano Dowell about how the contract between the city and AMR was allowed to expire and why there hasn't been a new one signed. Commissioner Ronaldo said he does not negotiate contracts, but Commissioner Dowell said that the Fire Commissioner is involved. So there's this very strange interdepartmental finger pointing between everyone, and all the while AMR doesn't have a contract with the city.
So where do things stand now between the city and AMR with regard to that contract?
Well, Fire Commissioner William Ronaldo said that later this week they will be providing a new terms for a contract later this week, but Commissioner Ronaldo didn't really specify what those terms are. Remember, one of the sticking points for AMR, and they've said this repeatedly, is that they're not going to sign a new deal with the city if there's a franchise fee included. In the old contract, AMR had to pay around $400,000 a year to the city in order to operate, but they say they will not do that anymore. When I pressed Fire Commissioner Ronaldo about it, whether or not that new deal would include a franchise fee, he did not specify or give a direct answer, and he said things are still being worked out, Claudine.
I'm sure they are still being worked out. That's the way it goes in the city of Buffalo, and this is not the first time this has come up. This has happened before.
No, and one of the big kind of revelations in the last few days is the lack of the EMS Board meeting. Now, the city charter says they're supposed to meet every month, file a report with the Common Council. They have not met since 2015. So we're talking nearly a decade since the people who were supposed to meet monthly to talk about some of these issues, they haven't met.
That's disturbing. At least it should be for residents in the city of Buffalo. Nate, thanks so much for coming on the 5:30 to talk about this. You'll have much more coming up in the next half hour.
Absolutely.
On Channel 2 News at 6.